Welcome to the Gatekeepers podcast. I am David. We also got Cam and Knives here. And today, the big thing we're talking about is collaboration and mainly the difference between collaborating in a photography sense and collaborating in a videography sense. Because, in my opinion, the two are very different from each other in how you collaborate. So, let's get this show going. How's everyone doing today, guys?
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm doing great.
I'm
Cam, what
I'm
Oh,
about
yeah,
you,
doing
it is
man?
well. I'm
Valentine's Day.
enjoying my Valentine's Day cupcake.
Look at him. Look at him.
He is
My
going
goodness.
hard on that.
That's cool. I'm jealous. I had my cupcakes
Mm.
yesterday, so mazel tov.
Oh, well, lucky
Um,
you. I didn't
I'm
have any
looking.
cupcakes.
Well, there's still time.
True.
Happy
True.
Valentine's Day to the listeners as well. So, like we said on the last episode, I think I'm bringing more of the videography kind of sense, and you guys bring
Mhm.
an amalgam of both, right? You guys are hybrid shooters as well. So I'm
I'm
curious.
mostly photography. I'm mostly photography than video, to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and that's a good point. I'm glad you highlighted that. That goes for Cam
Oh
as well,
no.
I suppose.
I'm a
But
mix
here
of
we are
both.
doing
I
a
do. I do.
here we are
Yeah,
doing
Cam
video.
is the hybrid shooter here. Cam is the hybrid shooter
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you're good at
100%.
both. You're really
So
good at both, and I'm good at none of them. So I totally get that. So in a photography sense, what does the collaboration look like? How does that work? And I don't think you're talking about from one photographer to another. I think you mean from a subject to a photographer. Do I have that right?
Exactly. That's kind of the big thing when it comes to photography. If I'm going to collab with someone in photography, I'm thinking, not really something like portrait photography is a really big world where collabing is used as code for like, hey, yo, can I get a free shoot? You know what I mean? Whereas if I do a street photography collab like I've done with Cam before, there are ways around it that actually can work. The biggest one that I see though for street photography is I'll go and I'll collab with someone. And what we end up doing actually is in the street photos, we're actually kind of acting as candid bystanders in the photo. That way the person can get the photo that they want. That's really what it comes down to in photography. It's usually one photographer is standing in for another photographer while that second photographer is taking a photo that they had in their mind. When it comes to videography, which like I said, mostly photography over here, so I'm not as versed as you, Cam, or you, Knives. But the thing is, when I imagine videography as collabing, you might get someone who is strictly an editor, or you might get someone who's strictly video or strictly a writer, but you're all working together on one thing. You have your very specific jobs, and you will hand those jobs off as soon as you've done your part. So it's not like one is better than the other or one is worse than the other. They are both very different when you in regard to what you're bringing to the table. Does that make sense? Am I
can I
making
can I
sense
add
here, or do I
can I just add one
or
thing
am
to
I?
that?
Yeah.
College is a gigantic collab, and I just realized this.
What is?
Film school. Film school
College.
is just a
Oh,
yeah. Film
college.
school
Oh,
is just a big
college.
collab.
Yeah. Yes. You're paying $50,000 a
Just
year to do that collab, but yes, it's a collab.
just a collab.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Take it from me. I
Well,
went to film school for 3 years.
so wait a second. Wait a second. Time out here. Cam, I'm sorry. Are you like enrolled or did you graduate film
Yeah.
school? Because I didn't know this.
You. Oh shoot. Hi. Yeah.
Oh shit! You didn't know this about Cam? Yeah, Cam.
I
Cam
didn't
is
know this
Cam.
about
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah. I graduated film school back in 2016.
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's a
Thank
big
you.
deal. I didn't know that about you and David. Both of you guys went to film school. I didn't go to film school. You guys
Yeah.
are fuckers. What the hell?
I mean, yes, I am a fucker, but not in the sense you are describing here. To be
Dude, how did you
clear.
guys not? How did I not know this? I'm embarrassed.
It's not
Well,
something that I really brought up because I look back at my time at film school now. Like, yeah, I got some stuff out of it, but ultimately it was freaking useless. I'll tell you. Let me explain why
Wow.
it was useless. Like for the work
Please
work
do.
that
Yes,
I
yes.
do.
Yeah, tell me why it's
Yeah,
useless.
for the work that I do now, film school it didn't help with that at all. Like honestly, everything that I've learned now, as far as like lighting for commercials or lighting for music videos or working with people or actual models or things like that, shooting with them as far as the video side of it. None of that came from film school. Now, like for instance,
I I I
hmm,
I actually want to object to your
there's
point.
more to
Sorry.
it. There's
I
more
want
to
to
it.
object.
There's more
Okay,
to it.
okay.
Now, this isn't saying that some of
Okay.
the skills that I got from film school does not trans over. That is not true. That is not true. Like as far as
Mhm.
understanding lighting, the concept of lighting came
Hmm.
from film
Yeah.
school. Understanding the concept of different angles or storyboarding and things like that, that came from film school. But still, there's a lot more that I learned outside of it as far as the world that I'm in now
Mhm.
didn't come from film school. On to David now.
Well, David, you were contentious about something he said. I'm
I
curious about that.
so though I would not recommend anyone go to film school, to be clear, I do not recommend anyone go to film school. Don't do it. It is a there you have I think if I would say to do anything is contact someone at the school or like look them up on LinkedIn and see where they've worked and who they might have connections with
I
and
mean,
then go from there. That's the
a
most
prime
I would say to
example of
do.
that is Knives, who's an amazing filmmaker who didn't go to film school.
Yes. Yes. You don't
Never,
have
I
to go
never
to
went to
film
film
school to
school.
be a great filmmaker. However,
Oh, yeah.
having said all of that, having said all of that, I want to point out that there are things in film school that you will learn that are going to help you regardless. Now, I know that in regard to lighting and in regard to angles, composition, storyboarding, all of these things, you said that's what you learned from film school. I would also like to make the argument that you also learned how to work collaboratively. You see, collaborating with someone and knowing and understanding how to collaborate with someone are two vastly different
Um,
things. And I think that film school is one of those things where you learn how to collaborate, not just I'm gonna go collaborate with someone, and then some people end up making it
I
about me,
I
me, me, me,
agree.
me.
I agree, but here's where I don't agree. Everybody in my film school didn't really like me. I was honestly the black sheep. I went to a white school, so and whatnot. But
Well, yeah, you were in
exactly.
Vermont.
So um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't really collab
That
with my
sucks.
peers the way that I wanted to. Like the people that like the way we went out that day on David,
Mm.
completely different vibe
Mhm.
of how it was in class and stuff like that. I didn't.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? And just in case anyone is watching this or listening to this that doesn't know, Cam and I actually, before I moved to Minneapolis, Cam and I actually went out and shot together for like 2-3 hours in
Yep.
Philly. So that's what he's referring to.
Yes.
But anyway, what do you
So
mean?
so for
Expound
me,
on that.
film school really consisted of, I was always the one that nobody really cared to work with, nobody wanted to work with. I learned a lot of on my
Mm.
own. I did a lot on my own. I made my own way, and honestly, like just that energy that they always had of, oh, there's he's the lower one of them all. Like, all right, cool. Well, fuck all of you. Okay, I'm gonna still do. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
wow. Fuck that. That sounds
still do
fucking
me,
brutal. I'm sorry,
where
man.
everybody else wanted to
Yeah.
shoot lovey-dovey scenes or they wanted to shoot scenes. Me, I was like, I want to go shoot a fight scene. I want to go do a chase scene. Like I want to do something that's not on the block. That's not nobody's doing. That's just a
Of course you did. Your favorite filmmaker is
yes,
Michael Bay. Like, of course you wanted to go and do this
exactly,
stuff.
yes.
Like, you wanted to do Michael Bay things. Everyone else wanted to do
But
like Denis
yeah, but
Villeneuve
it
things.
expanded to
Right,
more than
right,
just
exactly.
my class peers. Like it wasn't everybody. There were some people that I was able to connect with, that I was able to occasionally work with, but it wasn't like every weekend, hey, we're doing this. It was like, all right, cool, every weekend. Most of the time I was working on my
Yeah.
own, but it also expanded over to my teachers. I had quite a few teachers that there was one teacher in particular, fuck her. I will never be able to work with her or work for her or anything like that. I couldn't stand her. And it went more, and then somebody even said, like, well, she's your teacher. She will respect you. It's like, there's no way I can respect somebody that literally plays a movie of that. What was it? What was that movie? David, you might know of it. It was like the first.
Who's in
What
No,
it?
it's
was it?
not who's in it because I can't even tell you who is in it. Basically, it was like,
You're talking about like Birth of a
there
Nation
you
or
go.
some fucked
That
up
one
shit.
right there.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Oh,
We were so
oh
I'll tell you the story.
no!
Okay,
They
we were
showed that in
watching
my
it
film school too
and
in LA,
whatnot,
and I was
and
sitting there. I
I'm
was like,
watching. I was like, all right,
"Are
cool,
these
whatever.
motherfuckers
My
for real
mindset is
right now?
honestly,
We do
fuck this
not need to
movie.
be watching this right now." They were like,
um,
"It's important to learn the history of
yeah,
filmmaking." It's like,
exactly.
no, it's not. This is racist
Yeah,
bullshit.
so to
What?
learn the history
Yeah.
of filmmaking.
You can start with Citizen Kane. You
So
know what I mean? You don't need to start
Exactly. You
way
can
the back
start with
picture.
Orson Welles. That's where modern cinema began,
but
anyway.
I'm sorry, man.
at
That
the end
sucks.
of the
That's
movie,
terrible.
I actually asked her because I was curious to know, like, hey, how does this movie affect the history of filmmaking? Like, what impact did it have on it? That was the question that I have. Her first response was like, "Why, Cam? Does it offend you?" I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking leave. I left. I walked out of class.
Oh shit. Oh she.
Dude.
Oh. Well, you know that this person was a racist then because the first thing you were like, "Hey, can you explain to me the importance it has on film history?" And she was like, "What? You think I'm a racist or something?" It's like I kind of do now because you mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was worse than that. Jesus, that's
Oh
terrible, man.
God.
I have a question for both of you. Just a yes or no, and then I have another question.
Okay.
Yes or no? Did you guys finish
Hmm.
film school?
No.
Yeah.
Cam did. Interesting. And my second question, numerically, this is a number question. How much did you guys spend on film school?
Okay. I believe.
Don't
I
keep
believe I
don't
did.
gatekeep the numbers because I'm dying
I
to know.
believe. I believe I did this math before. It was something like 7 kidneys.
Wow. So that's
Yes,
let's see,
I
20,
know.
40,
It was
60.
something.
That's
Might not have been
dude, that's
7.
six figures. That's six
No, no,
figures.
no. Then it's not that. Then it's not that. No,
Oh,
no, no. Then
okay.
it's not
Because you can
that.
get a kidney for about
Trying to
20K.
Okay, 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 okay. So then it was 4 kidneys.
Okay. 20, 40,
It was
60,
4
80
kidneys, and
K.
I was 4 kidneys,
Oof.
and I was there for 2.5 years.
Yeah, wow. What about
I'm
you,
looking
Cam?
at least 2.5 kidneys, and I was there for 4 years.
Okay. That's big. Wow.
You
Vermont.
also
Yeah, I
you also
mean,
I
went
was
up to
gonna say, yeah, like
Vermont.
what
I went
school
to
did
a
you go
private
to?
film school in
That's okay.
LA.
That's why you went to LA.
Private film school in
And
LA. Yeah,
I,
that's why.
yo,
That's
I
how.
almost went to Full Sail too. I almost went to Full Sail.
Dude, don't you
I didn't.
dare!
I'm so glad.
Oh,
hold on.
I would have
Hold on. I
reached
have
through
a
the
buddy.
multiverse and bitch smacked you for that one.
I have a buddy. Shout out to Sven, who follows me on TikTok. He's a good buddy of mine. I haven't talked to him in a
Sauce,
minute, but
man.
he graduated with his master's at Full Sail. What's the T on Full Sail?
I don't like. So when I interviewed them, or when I interviewed with them, the guy that I interviewed with him, he seemed real cool. But then again, they're always supposed to seem real cool. Full Sail is just the reason why I personally didn't go to Full Sail is just it was too far away. It was too far away.
Hmm.
Like I looked at them like,
Yeah.
it's all the way on the other side of the world. Like, it's like at least 5 flights I got to take.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah.
Back up, back
To
up, back. Whoa, whoa,
Florida?
whoa, 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 whoa. Where's Full Set? Wait a minute. I think I'm mixing up
Full
my
Sail.
schools here.
It's Florida. It's Florida.
No, okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the right place. I
Yeah,
am thinking of the right
so
place. It's in
yeah,
Florida. Yeah, it's a
that's, that'll tell you how
private
long it's been
for-profit school.
since I looked into that place. But give me 2 seconds. Y'all keep going. I'll be right back.
I mean, hell, dude. I mean, who knows what would have happened if you went to Full Sail? I mean, you probably would have been attacked by Florida man or some crazy shit. But no, I totally get it.
Florida man. Oh,
Man,
Florida man.
I always don't get me wrong, dude. Like, I don't want to seem. It's really it worked out for me that I did not go to film school because I don't have that crazy amount of debt or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what kind of value I would have walked away from with that? But if I knew better, I would have went. Like I asked my high school counselors my senior year, as everybody was getting ready for college, about
Hmm.
film school, and they told me there's no such thing as film school. That's not real. That's what they told me. It doesn't exist. So I actually
Word.
learned all the filmmaking vocabulary from Screenwriting for Dummies. That was the first thing I ever bought with my first job. The first
Wow.
paycheck I ever got, which was like for $125. The first thing I bought was Screenwriting for Dummies. That and audio commentaries taught me the language,
Mm,
anyways. But
mm.
I would have loved. I mean, I probably would have made friends and made movies with people. I would have loved that opportunity. The first time I went to New York City and I was walking
Hmm.
around the streets, I remember thinking, man, I don't know if you know my backstory, and I don't need to get into it, but when I came to Austin, I was homeless for 6 weeks. I just came over here with a bag full of books and lived on the streets for 6 weeks.
Where did
And
you come from? I thought you were born in Austin. Wait.
I'm from Texas. I've been all over, but I'm from this place in South Texas called the Rio Grande Valley, which is a border town at the bottom of
Oh.
Texas. If you know what Texas looks like, the silhouette of
Yeah.
it at the
Mhm.
tippy bottom,
You're
that's
like
where I was.
closer
Right
to
on,
Corpus Christi than anything else.
more south than that. Like I was right on the
Oh,
border. You could see Mexico
wow.
from my house. Yeah,
What? Wow.
truly. So I Austin was the closest furthest place I could go, that had some
Mhm.
sort of culture. So, but
Yeah.
if I knew then what I knew now, I would have did that journey in New York City. Um, just because, the people that are there and, being homeless
Mhm.
anywhere in America is almost relatively the same. And I would have
Yeah.
learned from like NYU students and shit like that. And so learning how to collaborate in the video world, like I never
Mhm.
really learned it until very recently, like the past 5 years is where I really
Yeah.
learned it. By then, I had really kind of created my own acumen. I learned about it. Um, but actually, if I'm being really honest, I figured out collaboration, what that is, and how to speak it
Mhm.
from a photographer. This incredible photographer
Mm.
here, he now moved to Austin. He's been all over. His name's Lester Platt. He's
Mm.
incredible. I mean, his work is just I don't know. It's just amazing. And
I
I
think
asked him, dude,
the
how does a photographer reach out to a model? What's the quid pro quo on that? Like, how does this work?
Mhm.
And he broke it down to me. And that was how I got my education of like, oh, you can do something very similar with videography.
Mm.
But I'm the kind of guy when it comes to video, it's just easier to pay somebody. Like I don't do collabs. Like I will do free work, but I don't expect anyone to do free work for me. And so
Yeah.
it's just easier to look at it as a transaction. Like especially the older I get, it's harder to ask like a 19-year-old to work for free for
Hmm,
me. I have
Oh
to
I
pay
yeah.
don't
them.
know. But
Yeah.
I think for me the thing that really brought out this topic for me as a whole today was I was thinking back actually on, my experience that I had while I was at film school. I did directing and cinematography with a minor in screenwriting, which is how I I wanted to be, someone like Stanley Kubrick, but like didn't want to be like, torturing people to get what I wanted. Stanley Kubrick, you know what I mean? But not the point. Anyway, I always had ideas and I wanted to execute them exactly how I wanted to. That's where the whole pretentious gatekeeping thing comes for me. And
Of
so
course,
I was
obviously.
obviously right. And but what I was
I
thinking
I
about,
I was wondering, where did he learn this? Is this
yeah.
like is this rambunctious, like angsty, rebellious spirit? Where did that come from? And now I know that it
No,
was learned behavior.
it was a lot of reading film critiques and
Yeah.
understanding what they were saying better than most of the people in the class and getting a pretentious attitude towards film with from it. But anyway,
No wonder you gave me pushback last episode about the auteur theory. I was like, where did he where is this coming from? But now I know that sort
yeah.
of challenged I'd imagine in film school. Anyways, please continue.
Yes, yeah. But anyway, the thing that I was thinking about was actually in particular videographers. They are people who have multiple hats when it comes to what they do, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to absolutely shit on what they do. Videographers, Cam, listen, they work hard. Y'all work hard. The devil works hard, but y'all work harder to get exactly what you want. You will do it over and over again to get exactly what you want. And then you will sit there and you will edit it, and you will edit it meticulously to get exactly what you want. And then they will edit it they won't edit it, they will color grade it themselves.
Yep.
They will do the
Yep.
color correction, the color grading, all of it by themselves. And then they want to collab with people and they're shocked when they have another editor that they want to work on something, or the person that they want to collab with has a colorist already ready to go for
Mhm.
the project. And that's kind of
Mhm.
the thing when I mean that that there are some people who don't know how to collaborate. They're so used to having multiple hats,
Mhm.
that when it comes time, like, oh yes, we have a cinematographer, we have a director, we have an editor. Well, what the hell am I doing? You are a gaffer. Please work on the lights. Like they don't. It
Right.
kind of is like, no, I'm used to doing all of this myself. Why can't
I
they just
mean,
let me do all of this
I
myself?
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
you're describing me in my early career. That was definitely me in
Oh yeah,
2010,
I was me at
2011.
one point too, and then I was like, no, this is fucking stupid. There's a guy that they paid to do this. Have fun, boy. You got it. I believe in you.
Well,
It
so,
was the best
like
boy, by the way.
I can agree, but here, I guess honestly, I feel like a lot of my mindset is like I think like this, whereas like yeah, I have multiple hats. I'm an editor, photographer, videographer,
Yeah,
cinematographer, director, sound fucking guy.
yeah,
I have a bunch of hats, and when somebody asks me to collab or something like that, my mindset is all right, cool. I'm bringing all this to the table, okay, to help build this
Mhm.
yeah.
project, that this vision that they have. Cool, I'm fine with that. But if I get there and it's like, nah, yeah, he's doing lighting. Oh, I don't gotta do lighting. All right, cool. That's one thing I ain't gotta do. Oh, he's doing directing. Shit. All right, cool. Oh, he's doing sound. Shoot, let's go. I got people to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some people who work like this, where it's just like, oh, great, one less thing for me to worry about. However, I also know, coming from film school, just like coming from film school, there are people who never understood this concept.
No,
They directed and wrote their thesis film, and then they sat next to the editor and basically edited it, like, indirectly, and then
Sure.
they did all the coloring because they didn't understand how to collaborate. They were, as we talked about in the last episode, seeing themselves as an auteur.
Right.
And
Well,
this
here's the
so
thing.
leads me to my
The
ultimate
best.
point. This leads me to my ultimate point. Content creators are auteurs. Fight me.
here we go back to this.
I do agree with that. But the difference between content creators like us who are auteurs versus the Kubricks and the Michael
Uh huh.
Bays and the Wes Andersons is that
Yeah.
filmmaking is very collaborative. Like a Wes
Yes.
Anderson doesn't do everything. He's not the
Yeah.
gaffer. He's not the
Exactly.
cinematographer. And that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that when I was growing up in film and someone who did not go to film school, I didn't know that. Like, dude, I'll never forget being like in 5th grade and discovering the Beatles, and then I thought that they went into the studio and recorded the whole thing in one take, and that's how I thought
Oh my
music was made.
god. Yeah. I same here, dude. I thought all
You,
this was
you know
done
what I'm
like, okay,
saying?
we're gonna make a movie this afternoon. Like,
Dude, and with filmmaking, once again, didn't go to film school. I had to learn the hard way, and I learned by making a feature film and screening it and knowing what worked
yeah.
and what didn't work, and it was simultaneously humiliating and liberating. But sometimes you can't take the sweet without the bitter or whatever. But when I would
Oh yeah.
watch a movie, I would think that the cameras were just put wherever, and the
Oh
actors would
yeah.
act,
Zero planning
and then
whatsoever.
like, dude, I it never even occurred to me that you would light the fucking
So
background.
I'll tell you
Like, it
this.
never occurred to me that you'd have
Here,
multiple audio sources for redundancies, like a lav, a boom, and
wait,
like
can't.
you could put a microphone underneath a table so that you're hiding all these. I had no
Yeah.
idea, So I
Yeah.
think the problem is really like an educational problem, and now it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be gate kept this information. Now it's really up to old farts like me and you, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys consider yourself old farts. I mean, David's like the baby of the group, but
Goo goo
um
gaga motherfucker.
now it's up to us to kind of show people how to collaborate, and like also the pecking order, which I
Yeah.
love now. I love that there's a director. Like, I love being the guy that just holds on to the ladder so the gaffer doesn't fall. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be that guy. I have no ego when it comes to whatever. Like, I don't even need credit. There are people who really care about that
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
that
whoa, whoa. Calm the
transaction of
fuck.
like,
Oi.
I don't care about
Hey.
IMDb
Oh.
credit. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? I'm
Motherfucker,
there for
I
the
do.
result.
So you're talking to the wrong person now. All of it, you were preaching to the choir, and now you're preaching to the homeless man on the street. No,
So
no, no, no. Absolutely give credit. Cam, what were you
so
going to say though?
there's a few things that popped in my head. Like when it does come to collabs, I think there's a right way to go about it, and there's a wrong way to go. I think the word of collab now has a negative title to it. It's like, yeah, we should collab. You just want something for free. No, I think you're a cool person. We should just go out
Right.
and do something. Okay. So
Yeah.
now what I do, and look, everybody who hears this is my little secret. You try this on me. When I meet you, I'll beat your ass. So what I do now is I'll hit somebody up, and it's always like, hey, look, I think your work is cool. We should meet up.
We should
Jackass.
meet. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't
But
stop.
not like, yeah, we should meet up. And in their mindset, it's all I always feel like, yeah, cool, let's meet up. Let's hang out. Let's go out and shoot something. Or like, yeah, let's go out and shoot street. Or let's go out and shoot landscapes. Whatever they're into, let's go out and shoot it. And when we meet now, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, we're in person. You actually have a chance to get to know me. You've seen my work. This is the face to the work. You've seen my text. This is the face to that text. Now you also get to know my personality. By that point, I got you hooked. I got you hooked in.
I think that works better for photographers,
Nope.
right?
It,
For
Yes.
nope.
videographers, if you if
That's
you
how.
if you come
Yes.
at if you tell me and you know I'm a videographer and you're a videographer and that's the way I see you and you say, hey, let's meet up. My follow up is like, what do I bring? Am I bringing
Let me
a
tell you. Let
gimbal?
me tell you
Do I
how.
bring a
Let me.
boom? Like, do I bring lights? Like, what do I what am I
I'm a.
doing? What do
I'm
you
a.
need from
I'm a
me?
drag
That's
Like,
you
what
in
I'm
on that
getting
too.
at here.
Because I can drag
yes.
in a videographer
Go ahead. Go
also.
ahead.
And when videographers
Yeah.
are actually easy, for me. So it's always like, hey, what's up? Look, I love your work. Hey, I'm about to go out and just shoot some street video to make this video collab. Yo, you want to come out and see who can make the better one?
Mm,
I get a lot of people that
that's good.
love a
See what I like
competition.
about that. I like that. I do like that. There's a lot of people who are not interested in that. Like
I
sadly,
love
and
people. I
maybe this
love.
is an Austin thing, but there's so much like where's the money? What's the money? Like, there's so much like here's my rate. Like if I film
Mhm.
something for somebody and they want, a sort of highlight reel of that, I'm not gonna lie. A part of me is like, dude, I should charge you for that. Even though we went out and we did it for free, a part of me is like, now you're asking for work. I'll give you the raw files and you can chop it up and do
Uh,
whatever. So it's very big. Now I'm an over communicator of like, what are we doing here? Who's gonna own this stuff? Just because I've also been burned
mhm.
before. Like I've made a movie with people who I thought were my friends, and then they're like, fuck you, they push you out and they have final cut now, and you're like, what?
Well,
Like I,
well,
I
Yeah,
oh,
paid for
no,
this.
hold.
How
like
how
for
did that
Well,
me,
happen?
one of
So
the things.
I've
Hold
had a
on.
lot
One
of
of the
bad
things that I'm thinking
experiences.
here. One of the things that I'm really thinking here is like all those people who see things as like, oh, we can make a competition of it. In my opinion, I hate everything that comes out of those competitions. I absolutely despise them. I have not seen, and this is pretentious of me, I know. I have not ever really seen things that I was like, you know what? That looks really good. The composition is on point. The color is great. Most of the time I look at it, I'm like, garbage. Let me see what they did. Garbage. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just a pretentious little shit. I don't know. Fuck
I
it.
mean,
Whatever.
that
I'm
I
done.
mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But for me, like,
Well,
You thank you for coming to my TED talk. You just confirmed the way you go about this is shitty. I'm just saying.
so for me, it's never about if it's good or bad because I'm always looking to try. If look, whatever if I'm doing is going to help you learn something new or it's going to push you better. Cool. It doesn't matter how shitty it goes. What did you learn? Right? Did you pick up
Mhm.
something new?
yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
try something new? That's what matters. Whether if it's shit,
Yeah.
whether it's great. I mean, because I know when I go out and if I'm challenging you to something, I'm coming with my A game. I know I'm gonna bust your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Mm.
That doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. You're gonna lose because guess what?
Yeah.
I already pre-planned how I'm going to do this, what I'm going to get out of it. You don't know a goddamn thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna win.
It's funny. It's funny. We got here, and I did not expect we'd get here. And I've never put this on wax before. I've never said this out loud. I've never even. I didn't even know. This is why I am the way that I am.
Hold on. Hold on.
So
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get
oh
the camera
jeez.
ready so we
Oh,
can record
I
this.
mean, well, we're recording this right now, buddy.
Oh
Um,
yeah, you're
I
right.
will.
Well,
Yeah,
stupid
yeah, yeah.
David.
It's funny how that works. Funny how that works. But I
Yeah.
will say that so I did free work, and every now and then, if someone paid me $200 for a commercial or for a music video, but I basically did free work for 12 years of my career, from
Ah.
2004 to
Hmm.
2017 ish. Basically, did free work like. I would do an occasional wedding, quinceañera. We've all done it, whatever. But I wasn't making a living. I still had a day job and all that. And I would say
Yeah.
I didn't officially go pro until 2017. And what
Wow.
really was my bread and butter was documentary filmmaking, really, and more specifically
Mm.
was BTS, behind the scenes. Now,
Yeah.
I, you want to talk about collaboration? That's what I offer now when I'm on short films, when I'm on feature films, when I'm on whatever. Now, the services that I primarily sell, and it's how I make my living now, is behind the scenes videography. So, if me, you, and the dark skinned demigod got together,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna collab. First thing I'm saying, and it's the way for me to maintain my authorship, and it's a
Yeah.
way for me to maintain my leverage and also my like I essentially, these are my assets, and we can deploy them, whatever. Uh, is I'll be like, you guys go do photography, and I'm gonna film the vlog version of it. I'm gonna film the behind the scenes
Hmm.
of that.
Mm,
That to me is like, because I get to edit that, I get to color grade it, I get to shoot
yeah.
it, I get to take the behind the scenes photos, I get to, and that, I believe, this is like my big thesis. I believe if I'm gonna go, me and my buddy, we're gonna go, we're gonna make a short film. I think in a couple of months. Like we're in the casting process
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Yeah.
and he asked me to be the DP, and I said, "Oh, okay, cool. I was just going to produce it. I was just going to finance it, but I'm more than happy to be you know, the director of photography here." But
Yeah.
one of the first phone calls I made was I called one of my friends and I said, "Hey, I need you to," and I told her, "I'll pay you. I need you to film behind the scenes, because deep down, I think the behind the scenes movie almost always is more valuable than the actual short film sometimes." And when I was growing up and watching like HBO, when my grandma had cable for like 1 week for free, that's what
Mm-hmm.
made me fall in love with filmmaking, was the behind the scenes, was seeing like how they made the Alien, how they made the Predator,
Dude,
how they made
yo,
zombies
I
or whatever.
remember.
And that was the stuff that I was like, when I would see behind the scenes footage, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make the behind the scenes footage. It's so weird. So that's what I offer to collab. And that's how I've made my career, is I won't make the commercial. Hire a professional for that. Hire Cam for that. But I'll film
Mm-hmm.
the making of that commercial, and you can pay me for that, and that'll be its own feature film, and it's a Knives Monroe joint. But it's, and also it doesn't cost anything because the production value is already there, so it's actually
Yeah.
highly lucrative. But that's how I've maintained my outsider status while getting paid, and I never really thought about that until right now. Which is why I
Huh.
offer I offer behind the scenes services. That's what I do, so I can keep my leverage, my power, my authorship, everything.
That's good.
I just tell people that you can't touch my shit without talking to me first, but that works too. No, the behind the
Oh
scenes is
man.
like one of these amazing things where it is, even though I rag on content frequently, I will praise it for this. The evolution of content is fascinating because it went from photos to short videos, long videos, and you would think, okay, well, now they're going to start making movies. Well, no, instead people are like, well, this is how I do
That's all
things.
TikTok
They
is
do the
now.
behind the scenes of the short
Yeah.
content, and all it makes me
Yeah.
think is, damn, whoever started that is a fucking genius.
Yeah, because I mean that's all.
Started that? Well, we all know who popularized it.
Who popularized it? Oh no,
I
don't say
mean,
it.
who was the guy that made the 8 camera hacks in 90 seconds?
Shut the
That's what kind
fuck
of did it.
up.
When
I
people
know
saw,
it's
wow, that got
Maddie
10
Hapoya
million
always
views.
gets on my nerves, guys. We don't need to talk about Maddie Hapoya all the time. We don't have to. Okay, we just don't have
LOL.
to.
LOL. I mean, I think that's part of it, because when I was coming up, that wasn't the interesting thing. It was the meat and potatoes. It was the
Yeah,
film. That was the interesting thing. And now it's all
yeah,
about the how the hot dog is made. Um, but I think it's good, because if you do it in a cinematic way, people are
bro.
going to
They're
start
putting
asking
whooshes on
themselves,
hot dogs now. They're putting whooshes on hot dogs. I draw the line at cinematic when you put a whoosh on a hot
Okay,
dog.
so
Fuck you. You are a hack.
but here's the thing. So if I'm showing you how the hot dog's made and you're showing me, that's where Cam's shit comes in, where now it's a competition. Because now people are going to say, David's pretty good, but his hot dog doesn't go whoosh. But Knives
My
does
hot
go
dog don't
whoosh.
go whoosh because hot dogs don't go whoosh.
I don't know. If you throw
But
it fast enough, or if you
that's
throw it
cinema,
hard enough, it'll
man.
go whoosh.
Cinema, no. That's like, say that again, Cam. What?
If you throw a hot dog hard enough, it'll go whoosh.
Oh, that's
Throw a
right.
hot dog hard enough, it'll go whoosh. Yeah, right
Or
before it hits you in the fucking face.
if the camera starts right here and then whooshes into closer to the
Well,
hot
I
dog,
understand
that's
that.
also the whoosh.
Understand. I understand. I'm joking here. I put whooshes in my videos too. If you watch my Lightroom
I
hacks
actually rarely
videos,
do. I rarely do.
really,
I never. I've done it like twice in my
I
career.
put it in
Actually.
there as like it's faintly there because people I've noticed that I get more views obviously when people hear like when I'll do like a I'll just do some B-roll or I'll show the actual tutorial in Lightroom or something, and right before it pops up, they hear a like right before that.
Yeah.
All that shit, I get more views on it just
Yeah.
because
Was
of
that
that.
the?
I think because
Didn't you
people
use
like
that
that. It's
same whoosh
aesthetically
right there in
pleasing.
one of your videos? Do you record your own sounds, David? You
Sometimes.
pretentious motherfucker.
Well, sometimes. Okay, so I have epidemic sound. I use epidemic sound, but sometimes when someone's
Are you
like,
using
for
Are you using Peter McKinnon's offer code to get 10% off at
no,
checkout?
I actually started using epidemic sound before I started seeing the offer codes, and I was like, oh
No.
shit, damn it,
I
I could
I
have
use
done
story
this.
blocks. I use story
I
blocks,
don't
but
want to
I do
use
make
story blocks
my
because
own
it's
sounds.
Motion array.
I make my
you
own
make your
sounds.
own
It's not
sounds
Motion
too.
hard.
array.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
hard.
difficult. It's just
Dude,
sometimes like
I will literally go. That's it. That's
yeah.
all you got to do.
But the thing that I'm getting at here is sometimes like, you're recording, you record something like someone walking, for example, and you go onto Epidemic Sound or Artlist or fucking
Sure.
what's another one? All those sound
Yeah.
websites where you can download
Yeah.
a sound of someone walking. And it's not lining up. It's just no matter what, it's not working. So sometimes you just gotta put your shoes on, go outside, and walk towards a microphone. That's all you
I
got to
mean,
do. This isn't
you could
complicated.
always
Am I
you could
fucking
always capture the ambience. Like if we're downtown Philly, like I will
Yeah,
record 1 minute of just ambience,
yeah.
of that
Where is the
particular
peanut
thing. Yeah.
gallery to back me up on this? Actually, fun fact: if you were to record the ambience, right, Cam, this is definitely important for you. Record the ambience, right, of Philly for something, and then put it into what is that? What Adobe Audition, and you can
Yeah.
actually tell Adobe Audition to loop it, and Adobe Audition will
Yeah.
find the perfect spot to just do a loop for however long you
Yep.
want it to be.
So yo, I
Dude,
recently
Audition is the best free
I
service
It
ever.
recently
really
saw
is. It
saw a
really is.
TikTok
Anyway, go on, Cam.
that dude said the same thing. He's like, yeah, if you want to extend the song, right, go to Adobe Audition, and you
Mhm.
can actually say how long you want it to be, and it'll find a perfect spot to loop it.
Yeah,
I'm like, my mindset is like,
yeah.
or just learn sound design or learn audio design and cut it and do it your fucking self. You,
Well, he's mostly talking about songs at that point. If I wanted to use like a Lumineers
but
song for
that's what I'm saying.
something,
Like,
and the Lumineers song is 5 minutes, and I have a 7 minute shot where I want to use it for.
so have you? So if
First
you,
off, I don't know who the fuck I think I am. You doing a 7 minute shot with one Lumineers song, but that's how I would,
so if you
loop it.
if you guys seen most of my behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but like my really the video, you can tell which videos I put a lot of time into and which ones I don't put a lot of time
Yeah,
into. It's very easy
Yeah.
to tell.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you pay attention to the song's order is all over the fucking place if you looked at my timeline. I love
Interesting.
taking
Interesting.
the end of the song, I'll put it at the beginning of the song, I'll put it at the middle of the song, I'll put it in between.
Typical Philadelphian, working harder, not smarter.
Like
No, I
Typical
like that.
Philadelphian.
it's not even a working harder
I like
thing.
that.
It's just the like. So I'll whenever I'm shooting a video, I'm listening to the song. Okay, I'm listening to the song the way it normally plays, and I'm
Yeah,
hearing certain parts. I was like, oh yeah, that would be dope if I flipped it around here. Like for me, it's like yeah, somebody else created this song, but it's like when I go in and reshape it the way I need it to fit the video that I'm making.
yeah,
Now I'm making it my own,
yeah.
but it fucking flows every goddamn time.
You are doing what I call what is it?
Exactly.
Recontextualizing. You're basically taking the context of the song and just
The fuck does that film school shit mean? I'm just kidding.
what do you what? I like how you said that. You're like, what the fuck
But
is that film
and
school
like
shit? You know what
so
recontextualization is?
Of course I
Everyone
do.
knows
the
what it
other
is.
reason why I go
Oh,
ahead
yeah.
and do this though, this is the main reason why I do this. So that way when YouTube listens to it,
Mhm.
they can't say, "Oh, that's such and such a song."
Yeah.
Because that 30-second, oh, you have 30
Yeah,
second
what I
bullshit.
do every now and then.
Everyone, do
I will
not
add.
listen to him. He is advocating for copyright infringement. Everyone, be careful. Do not repeat the actions in this video.
It's a good hack.
Every now and then I'll add if it's a song I really want to use and I know YouTube will check it out. I will add like an underwater filter to the
Yep,
song,
that's another one.
and it distorts it it distorts it
Yep.
enough. Yeah.
Basically, if you fuck that
I
song up any type of way, not even fuck it up, but basically switch it up in any type of way,
Yeah.
they're not gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
That's all good and done, all good and
Yeah.
fun.
man.
And now
And
on
here,
TikTok that doesn't matter.
Bruh.
I know, right? I was real quick before the thought is gone on the whole listening to music. I was actually doing that earlier today. I have a big video that Cam, I need to actually talk with you about because I need someone to actually work on it with.
Okay.
But one of the things was I already found the song. I knew what the idea was, and I was like, I need to find a song to go with this idea. I kind of work like almost in a James Gunnian kind of ways. I have this idea, let's find a song, and then from the song, tell the story that the
Like,
song is.
same
You
here.
know what I mean? And
James
so
Gunnian.
James Gunnian. Oh my God, he writes all of his needle drops are on point because he literally writes the story to the needle drops. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy works how it. I'm not going to get into the MCU because they just dropped
Okay, keep
all
going,
this
keep going,
amazing
keep
stuff.
going.
Anyway,
So
so but I
yeah.
was but I was writing a script for it earlier today, and I did the exact thing. I had the song on in my head, in my ears on loop, just like okay, as I'm writing this, this is the tone I want it to have. So I understand where you're coming from. I also just would I haven't listened to my music when I'm out shooting though in such a long time. I'm always too busy listening to hear like, something interesting when especially when I'm doing street photography.
Hmm. I can, yeah,
Mm.
I can completely understand that. You know, for me,
Yeah.
that's just like I shut the world out whenever I'm shooting street, because I don't need my ears to it. I don't want my ears to influence what my eyes see.
Mhm.
So,
Well, but that's the thing. My ears might be able to pick up something that my eyes
and
aren't,
that's understandable. You're right.
you know?
You're 100% right. Like your ears will pick up on something,
Like if
and then
I'm looking here and my ear is hearing something from up here, that might be interesting. One of the photos I shot recently, I was in Minneapolis. I was walking around and I heard birds chirping as I was walking, and then I looked up on one of the buildings. There were just rows of pigeons on this building. I took a photo and I cropped in because I was only on the 50 mil, but like sometimes your ears are doing more work to aid the photos you're taking than if I were to put headphones in, because I
and I
used to put headphones in.
completely
I just
agree with you. I think the other thing for me is that I always, whenever I'm going out, I want to be looking at a
Mhm.
360-degree view. That's the reason
Mm.
why.
Well, you should get one of those you should get one of those VR AR lenses for the
Yeah,
RF mount then.
nope, I will not do that to myself.
Ew.
Like I said, as soon as those were out, I don't know if you remember or I don't know if you guys saw it. The first thing I did
I've
was
seen him.
I shared Canon's post on my Instagram, and I said, "Boy, this porn's gonna be wild."
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
You
Yeah.
know,
Just you all
Um.
of a sudden we're gonna see Johnny Sins, and then right under it, shot on the EOS R5.
Oh geez. As we're winding down here, I'm curious. On the subject of collaboration, can each of you
Mhm.
share a collaboration gone wrong story, if there is one for you guys?
All right, let me think
And
on
and
this. Let
like,
me think on
how
this.
could that have been fixed? Like, what went wrong
Yeah.
there?
So I'll go first. So I was working with a photographer in Pennsylvania, and
not
she
me, by the
wanted
way.
this whole like not Cam, not Cam, not Cam. No, no, no. She wanted this whole she wanted like a reel and an IGTV and like a bunch of stuff to rebuild her branding. And the we were collaborating, we were working on it, and I thought what I was doing was the right way of doing it. I did. And she absolutely was not on board with any of it, but she kind of just kept saying she trusted what I was doing, and in the end, it ended up just absolutely falling apart. And it was my fault because how we've been talking about how people can collaborate that don't know how to collaborate. Hi, I'm one of those people. So I didn't know how to actually work with someone and take their ideas and interpret them, but also at the same time give them what they wanted in that interpretation. How do I mix what this person sees with my style? And in the end, what we ended up doing was just saying, you know what? No hard feelings. This totally didn't work out. That's fine. There were no no hard feelings. I already said that. We'll just go our separate ways, and that's it. And that's what we ended up doing. And honestly, it was very eye-opening for me. I am totally happy that I actually fucked it up because now I know, I need to work on actually collaborating with people before I actually hop in to a collaboration like that ever again.
Hmm.
So before we get to Cam's nightmare collaboration, let me ask you just a quick follow up. if
Yeah, what's up?
somebody wants to collaborate with you with either photo or video, what's the best way that they can do that? Like, what's your collaboration love language there?
Okay, so my collaborate right now, it's actually really funny. Right now, I'm doing something on TikTok where if they have less than 500 followers on TikTok, they can go to the link in my bio and they can actually just reach out to me, send me some kind of portfolio, tell me what they like shooting, and then if they live in the Minneapolis Twin City area, we'll meet up and we'll shoot something. If they don't, but they want to do something a little, you know, digitally or distance wise, I forget I forget how to describe it.
Yeah,
Basically, they're not
virtually.
here virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. If they want to do that, they kind of really have to sell me on it because I'm not a huge fan of that. Because most of the time it's just, hey, let's take photos and edit each other's photos. Like, no, that's not really a collaboration. That's me doing the work for you. So basically, if someone wanted to collaborate with me, they can go onto my website. Not actually, no, not my website. Go to my Instagram or my TikTok and go to the link there and then click on collab. You'll see it. It's like the third link from the top. And just fill out the form and hit me up. I'm totally down to do it. The thing that's actually kind of shocking is, with 10.5K followers on TikTok and putting that video out, no one has reached out to me yet. And it kind of makes me think maybe people don't want to collab. They just kind of do want to complain about it. You know what I mean? But that's
Well,
a whole different thing.
we'll get into that. I do want to touch base on
Another
that
time.
because let me ask you just a quick question on that.
Yeah.
Have you made a video or two or three or four about that call to action?
Now that's the thing. Now
That's the
that's the
problem.
thing.
So that's
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 the
the problem.
problem.
Like
You're right.
if
I
now if
I
you make
have the
one of those videos a week, a call to
hmm
action video, then you'll start creating what they call a top of funnel, right? And then you can start seeing,
yeah.
wow, one person said something or two people said something, or maybe I should make another video so I can get three people, whatever. So
Well,
do that.
I have two videos. I shot them. I forgot I haven't uploaded them yet.
Yeah. You leave
They're
it up to the
shot. They're sitting on
drafts.
my computer. I just have to upload them.
Cam, what's a horror story collaboration if you have one?
That's the thing. I don't have one. All my collaborations are.
Cam is perfect. Haven't you gotten that yet? He's called the dark skinned demigod for a fucking reason. Show some motherfucking
No,
respect.
I think I feel like
Yeah, Google that. Yeah.
most of my collabs haven't gone bad because the way I set them up is like you get something out of it, but you have to personally find whatever that is. Whether it's if I invite you out to a shoot, mostly honestly, I'm inviting you to hang out. Just come hang out with me, see what I do. If you got a suggestion or something that I'm doing, dude, shoot it my way. Cool, let's try it. Or like some of the shoots that I've come out to. Shoot, there's been a few I didn't even shoot. I was just there hanging out with my boy, and I just happened to see something. I was like, hey, maybe you should try this. Shoot, I even did it to David. I even did it to David. We were walking around, and I saw something. I was like, hey, David, what do you think about that? Man, looked at it, snapped, and kept going.
You're right. I did do that, didn't I?
Like, shoot, actually, yo,
Cam,
hmm?
what's your collaboration love language? Like, how should someone reach out to you? And I don't just mean like how do they click a link in your bio, but like how do you like? I'm sure surely there's a wrong way for them to reach out to you and be like, "Yo, what's up, bitch? I need you to do this. Be there
Oh,
at this
that's what you
time."
wanted me
Like,
to answer? Or that's a
well,
totally
well,
different answer.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
yeah.
I'll so
We'll get back to you, but I am curious. Like,
Okay.
how should
Okay.
somebody
Yeah.
reach out and say like, how do they pique your
so
interest?
you know me, I'm a photographer and a videographer. I see the world that way. Just invite me out. I'll take it from there. I'll take it from there. Or honestly, I might even reach out to you. Hey, you want a behind the scenes video? Cool. All right, bet. No, I'm not gonna charge you. I need to practice, and I'm reaching out to you. Let's go fucking do it. Or just invite me out to a shoot. You invite
Mhm.
me out to a shoot, you never know what you're gonna get. So just ask me to come hang out.
Yeah.
Ask me to come hang out. Ask me to meet up. If you want to collab, just shoot me a message saying you want to collab. I'm a really simple person, and I just love to create. So I like all that
Mhm.
stickler that if you want to collab, if you want to meet up and create, if you want to meet up and learn something from me, you just got to shoot me a message. That's all it is. Money isn't everything to
I
me.
like that, David.
So
David, how should someone like approach you? Surely there's a wrong way for them to ruffle your feathers in a bad way. But
I'll give you the right and wrong way. I'll start with the
okay.
wrong way because it's my favorite. If you want to collab with me, you do not need to tell me the deep reason why you got into photography. I honestly I'm going to be honest. I don't care why you got into photography. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you made it to the party, not even remotely thinking about why you're at the party.
Yeah,
Just
you don't
flat
want
out.
their life
So
story.
exactly. I've gotten messages where it's like, well, my grandmother died when I was 6 and she gave me this camera and I've never let go of it since then. And all that makes me go is
You
like,
didn't go
okay,
with
you're
her?
attached to dead people things. Like what?
My bad. I ain't say nothing.
Cam
What'd you
said,
say?
no, Cam said that your UFC name would be David Fuck Your Dead Grandma Lugowski. That's what he said.
Well, my dead grandma was a virulent racist, so you know what? Yeah, probably. Anyway, but if you want, but if you do want to collab with me, it's very simple. It's very much like Cam's. Is just send me a message. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't say you want to collab with me. That sounds to me sounds cringy. I don't like that. Say, hey, I'd like to shoot with you. That is perfectly fine. If we can
Excellent.
make it
You know
work, we
what?
can make it
And
work.
I
You
agree.
know, if you're in Los Angeles and I'm in Minneapolis, I'm not going to Los Angeles. Not at all. You're coming to me if you reach out to me.
I agree with David. It's really that simple. Just shoot me a message. Hey, I'd like to shoot out with you. All right, cool. My response is either going to
Yeah.
be, hey, I'm free this day, or hey, I'm doing this shoot on this day at this time. You want to come out?
hmm Oh, I've done that a few times already up here, where it's like, hey, someone will say, hey, can I shoot with you? And I'm like, I will be in the city at this location at this time. Just be there. This is what I'll be wearing. I will see you there. And then they don't
At
show up.
least, I'm gonna tell you, everybody. At least
This
he
is
gives you
this is
the
my last
no. This
question.
is what I'm wearing because when I met that man, I ain't even get that.
True, I didn't give you that, did I? What's your
Jeez.
question,
Let,
Knives?
let, let me ask this is the last question as we're approaching our time here.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between business and a collaboration, how do you guys define that? Because for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm mostly always all business.
Hmm.
You know, I rarely get asked to quote unquote collab. I get rappers asking me to make a music video for them as if
Mm-hmm.
it's like my pleasure, and it's like that's not the right way to ask me to do this. Like that's
I've
just
had that
really
a few
bad.
times. I've had that a couple
So,
times too. Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy how I still get that. But the difference between a collaboration, which is essentially free, and
Mm-hmm.
business, which is there's strings attached, right? So can you guys walk me
so
through that?
business.
Cam, do you want to go
Yeah,
first, or want
I'm
me to
gonna
go
try to give
first?
give a crack at it. So, for instance, sometimes
Okay,
I
cool.
can honestly blend the two.
I-
There's been a few music videos that I've done that were free, so you could essentially say they were collabs. But here's the business side of it for me. I get full creative control. We do this my way.
Yeah,
Fuck whatever idea you had.
yeah,
We do this my way. That's the business side. Or the
yeah,
question, or the other version of it is, who are you introducing me to? 'Cause, like, I will do this for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
hmm,
do this for you for this amount, whether it's free
yeah,
to 1,000, whatever. Okay, I'll do this for you. Everybody that comes around saying, asking you, oh, who did that? Who did that? Whoever comes to me from you, full price. That's the business side. So, like, yeah, okay, cool. We can collab on this, but you're going to introduce me to every single one of your connections also.
yeah. Word, Lugowski.
It sounds really. This is gonna sound really simple, and very, 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 very much not as logical as that. Um, if I fuck with you as a person, just as a person, not as a photographer, not as an artist, not as a content creator, like if you seem like we're gonna have a good time, doing this isn't gonna feel like work, then yeah, it's a collab. That's it. Plain and simple.
Man, spoken like
Um,
a guy who loves what he does and is still passionate about it.
It's not that's not what it is. It's not about that. It is that whole idea of like community over competition. Like people talk about it so frequently that like, you kind of when you say that, as frequently as I have, you kind of have to mean it.
Acknowledge.
But I'm not just gonna give free services to people. I have to kind of know you a little bit. So if you reach out to
Yeah,
me and it's like, hey, let's collab, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, sure, like, let's you know, let's just go do this. There
Yeah.
actually is gonna be a conversation beforehand. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna see what kind of cameras do you shoot with, what how long have you been doing photography for, like all these things to get to know the person just a little bit, because all I need to do is get to know you a little bit, and my gut will tell me if you are a fucking asshole or a decent
Oh,
person. And I have a 90% success rate. I've only been wrong a
mm,
handful of times, but anyway. And I've had some people that have just, they've started out really cool. Like there was this one guy, he asked if he wanted to, collab with me, and I said sure. Started asking him some questions, started having a conversation with him, and then he sent me 11 voice messages on Instagram without at all giving me a chance to respond to one. That's it.
Hmm.
And immediately I was like, I don't want this person's going to be work to be around.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be
Yeah.
just a fun get together in the city. No, this is going to be work. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
have to work to be around this person. And I told
Mm-hmm.
them, like, yeah, man, no offense here, but like, I don't think I'm going to be collabing with you. And of course, I get,
Yeah.
well, why not? I was like, because you're too much. You sent me 11 voice messages and didn't even give me the opportunity to respond to one of them. And he goes, it's like, well, I was having a conversation about what we love. I was like, no, you were having a conversation with yourself about what you love. So don't get it twisted for even a little bit. And he ended up blocking me on Instagram and TikTok, and he's probably very
mm.
upset with me still. It's fine. He can be upset with
Knives,
me.
do me
I
one
don't
favor.
care. But
Give this man a round of applause
yo,
with the app, please.
Oh,
what?
yeah. There it is.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that you could do this.
There it is. Yeah.
No, what?
So if you're the host of this, there's three tabs: studio,
Yeah?
Yeah.
chat, and media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Media has a bunch of sound
That's right.
effects.
No way.
One
Really?
c- one could say yes way. You're welcome. You're welcome. Sorry, that was
Oh,
so
Lord.
fucking lame.
Oh, that's
Now
so
I
lame. I
deserve
love it.
those boomer comments after that. But all right.
Fucking
I
boomer.
really I liked this episode. I like that. I appreciate that. You guys are great. Thank you so much for your time. Before we
Wait,
sign
wait,
off
wait, wait,
here,
wait, wait,
Cam,
wait,
where
wait,
can
wait,
people
wait,
support the
wait. Hold on, hold
cause?
on, hold on.
What's that? What's
It,
that? I'm
it's
signing
no way you
off.
can get away with this one. You can ask us a question, but you can't answer it yourself. Go on, come on. I want that response.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Well, what's the question? I'll make it very
And what?
simple. What's the
How do you
question? I'll make it
sleep at
simple.
night?
Yeah.
The question is,
Well, I have a therapist for that. Thank goodness.
what do people have to do if they want to collab with you? It's the right and wrong way.
Okay, sure, sure. I almost feel like I can. This is gonna sound really.
Gatekeeping.
I don't know if I believe this. No, I almost feel like there's not a wrong way to ask me because I think I can turn a wrong way into a good way because it's happened before where someone approaches me and I'm like the way David felt, like, whoa, you're approaching. This is so hot. Like you guys, you're just fucking. I don't know if this is too much. It's nuclear for me. I don't know if I want to touch this. And then you could warm that up, and then it's something that could it'd be interesting to me. Um, I turn a lot of negatives into positives, to be honest. But the best way is to like what I do, and if I could be visible, if you could make me feel seen, and be like, this, there's this thing that you do. I like the way that you do that. Do that for me, or what do you think about doing this with me? Would if we join forces? Like deep down inside, my goal or dream, or like what's like the juice of life, creatively speaking, for me, is assembling. Like I love like that we're like the X-Men right now. You, me, Cam, like we're the X-Men, right? And I love that. And so I think I don't have all the tools. I don't have all the skills that pay all the bills. I do a couple of things pretty well. Put me on your team for that. You need me for that, if they approach me that way, like I'm more than likely in. I will always have follow-up questions to know, like, is this for funsies or is this, for business? I'm I like doing things for funsies because I have the leverage, like Cam said, with the creative license. Like I can pull out. I'm calling those shots. I have full creative control. That's very meaningful to me. If it's business, I take it very seriously. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be the first one to show up, last to leave. I take it very seriously. I've never had anybody say that I wasn't professional, whatever. But I don't think there is a wrong way. Be cordial. Don't be a dick. Like, don't be an asshole. You're gonna get blocked if you just approach me with heat. But if you're genuinely, you see something in my work and you notice me in any way, like, I'm already, I'm flattered, right? It happens every now and then. Um, so I appreciate that, but I'm always going to follow up and make sure that this is for the right reasons, because I've been burned in the past. Before I know it, I'm putting 7 grand into this collaboration. Wait a fucking second. I better own it if that's going to be the case, right? And that's happened, crazy shit like that. So it's all about the follow up for me.
Cool.
I just feel like, someone's gonna message you now. It's like, hey, yo, fuckface, I fucking don't like your work, and your face makes me want to punch a baby. Can we
Yeah.
collab? And just coming at you with the heat. In which
It
case you
depends,
can.
man. Like, dude, if you're funny, if you're like, hey, Hitler, do you want to collab? Like, that might make me
Hey,
laugh.
we do
That
not
might
need to
make me laugh.
invoke his name. We do not need to
Dude,
invoke his name.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
like,
yo,
if someone
it's
approached me that way, like, I wouldn't, like, I would follow up. I'd be like, well, this is funny. What is this? But I got a sense of humor, but at the same time,
If
you can
someone,
tell you can tell when
if
someone's being a fucking dick, right? Like, don't
yeah,
roast
that's
me.
true.
Like, what the fuck?
If someone was like, yo, Stalin, let's go out and shoot something, I'd be like, uh, don't know if I want to
That
do
makes
that
me
with you,
laugh.
my guy. Don't
That
know if I
makes
want
me
to do that,
laugh.
my guy. Oh, come on. Why not? Because it's like, because are you talking about photos or Armenians? Because those are two very different things that Stalin would shoot. Like, so we got to chill.
You know what? I think that deserves a round of applause. Certainly, there's
Thank you.
a big
Thank you.
difference there. There's a big difference there.
Thank you.
You
Thank
can
you.
you can
I'll be
find
here
me
all week.
at Knives Monroe on all the things. If you guys want to watch the video version of this, it's at Indie Darlings on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. Where can they support the cause and find you guys on the internet?
swag.
Yeah, that is a dope send
I
off.
forgot. This one out. I gotta put that back in there.
He's still spraying shit. What are you spraying for?
Hold on, I
Anyway,
asked you
if
guys.
you want to,
Give me
I'm
your.
going now.
Give me
I'm
your.
going now. I'm going now. I got
Give me your
distracted.
ads.
I got
Give me
so
your ads.
distracted. My ADHD kicked in. I saw something red on the table. I was like, the fuck? Oh, it's my light cap. Okay. You can find me on Instagram at the David Lugowski. Same thing on TikTok and on Twitter. It is at the David Lugowski. You take the last I out of David off because I'm only allowed a certain amount of characters. You can also find me on YouTube at just David Lugowski. And if you go to my website, go to where the blog is, you can actually sign up for a sweet mailing list where I send you all my content like twice a month, maybe might up it to once a week. That sounds like a lot to do, but I would do it. I would be down for it. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, you can find me at all those places.
Was that everything?
There he is.
Is it-
The mailing list. He got you with the mailing list. Cam, what
Alright,
about you, man? Where can
so
people
you
support
can
the
just find
cause?
me on.
Oh, and I totally forgot. No, I'm joking.
So you can find me on IG
I'm joking,
at
sorry.
Came in
Images
hot
by
today.
Cam, and you can just find me on TikTok at What's Up Cam 0. I'm just that simple.
By the way, I found Cam's gaming TikTok. It's out
Yeah,
there.
it is.
And so if you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
know how to find it, I suggest you do that because it's
Bro
It's
over
pretty
here
fun.
playing Barbie 3.
no he's playing, like, was it like Brawl Stars?
Brawl,
Or, no, what
Brawl
was
Stars,
it? What's
Brawl
that
Stars
game
was
called?
one of them. But
with the-
like what Apex was
yeah,
up
yeah.
there.
There's like
Call of
what's that
Duty.
like racing? What's that driving? The Apex.
Forza?
Rocket
they're-
League.
What's
Rocket
that
League.
one? With
Need
the,
for
like,
Speed.
Rocket League.
Rocket
Yeah.
League. Yes,
Rocket
there
League.
it is. There, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
old, man. I buy the games for my kids. I don't play.
I'll
them.
be going. I do be putting. I do be
Bro,
doing
have a
my thing
Switch.
on Rocket
Spider
League
Man?
sometimes.
That's
I have
that's
I have a
unfortunate.
Switch controller.
Yeah, I got a Switch too.
It's
Every
not
now
a
and then
Switch controller. That is an Xbox
no.
controller. How dare
No,
you?
it's for the
This-
Switch. I got
yeah,
Pokemon
the
Legends
Switch
right here.
controllers look just
Oh,
like the Xbox
shit.
ones.
Well, dude,
So-
look,
Sounds like
it has,
copyright infringement again.
it has Mario on there
Yep.
for crying out loud.
Wait, before we sign off, did anyone else see that Multiverse of Madness
Not yet.
trailer?
I ain't seen a new one yet.
Oh God, we're not doing
I ain't
that.
seen a new one yet.
Oh, dude, it's good.
Yeah.
It popped
It's
me,
so
and I
good.
fucking hate. I hate everything Marvel, and I loved it.
I hate
So
how
you're-
good I hate how good No Way Home was and how good Multiverse of Madness looks. I truly hate it.
There's a big Easter egg in there, Cam, that I don't want to say anything, and David, you shouldn't either. That I think
not
you'll
going to.
appreciate quite a bit. There's a great Easter egg in there. You can't miss it if you're a true Marvel fan.
It's
But
Batman.
there's one
It's
shot.
Batman. I couldn't keep it quiet. I'm sorry. It's Batman. Batman's in the fucking
There's
trailer.
no, it's not true. It's not
Superman
true.
sucks him off.
Oh, geez, that's the movie he wants to see. So, but I think you're in for a treat, man. You should
Yeah.
definitely check that out.
I know what I'm doing once I get off of here.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We'll see you next time.
Be in touch.
Deuces.